So how's it like being in coming back to California and the U.S.?
It's a tease because I'm not actually home, but it's been amazing to start. It's sort of starting over for me. After I've been in Europe mostly for the past 2 years, and to finally release the record in the States last week was this sort of really surreal thing because the States is it's just so big and there's so much to do and there's so much work to be done. So we're just getting started here. So it's this whole new thing for me. Yeah, it's a new challenge with old songs, which is a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so you taped Craig Ferguson.
Yeah.
What is that'll probably air before this goes up? But what can the fans in the U.S. expect from you next?
Well, I mean, we're just starting. We're trying to get the word out on radio, which is really really tough format. So I'm optimistic about it and trying to get songs into television shows. But I'm just going to be touring mostly. That's my goal, is to play every city I've already played and try it again as a headlining artist instead of an opening act. And so hopefully, I'm doing a couple of shows at the end of April. East Coast and West Coast, and then in the fall I'm doing a national tour with the band. So hopefully, I'm trying to get as many cities as possible. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And speaking of touring, how was South by Southwest? You just recently came back from playing there.
Yeah, Have you been to South by?
I have not. No.
Oh my gosh, this is my third year, and the first 2 years I went kind of for fun. I played 2 or 3 shows, but it was mostly there to hang out with my friends. And this was the first year I was there to really promote a record, and it's everybody who does anything in this industry is in Austin with 1,500 other bands.
Okay.
And so it's just this carnival. It's a carnival of dudes in skinny jeans and girls in cowboy boots running around. I talked to a million people, and I think we played 7 shows or 8 shows total. And I was there with my band from Holland. They'd never been to the States, so it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Did you find any people? I heard the story that you were walking around and yelling, "Hey, are you in a band?"
Yeah, I like doing that.
That's great. That's great.
It's such a sarcastic thing because it really, for a group of people who make music, we think we're all very unique, but we all really look alike. So everyone in Austin, you can just tell right off the bat that they're in a band. Yeah,
that's cool.
It's amazing.
Nice. Let's see. So your album Bells finally came out in the U.S. It's done phenomenally well in the Netherlands. And it's been 18 months since it's been released. How is that?
Gosh, really?
Yeah, I was just looking up. It doesn't feel like it's been like there's two EPs in the U.S.
Yeah.
But now it's a full.
Well, it's a full-length record, and we re-recorded a lot of the
Right.
stuff for the U.S. release because putting together 2 EPs, it equals a record, but it doesn't really equal a unified thing. And
Right.
it didn't reflect what we were doing with the live show anymore. And I really was itching to get back into the studio and make the songs fresh and update them. And I'm so proud of the record now because it really sounds from start to finish like this one unified thing. And my producer Bill Leffler did an amazing job with the record, and just having the same musicians come back and re-update the songs. So yeah, it's a full length now.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's about time, and it's called Bells, which was, I read, the first song you wrote.
It's the first song I ever wrote that was in my voice. That wasn't trying to be a country song or trying to be a pop song. It was just a song that came from a sense of homesickness. I was living in Nashville and was hearing church bells and really homesick for Holland and really feeling lonely. And that song just sort of arrived. Sometimes a song just arrives, and I heard it coming out, and I thought, oh, finally. And that song opened the door for me for so many other songs, and so it was only right to name the first record after the first song.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then The End, which is, I think, my favorite song on the record.
Thank
it's
you.
So,
Mine too.
It's so gut-wrenching and honest and open.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely connect with it on so many different levels.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. How was writing that?
That was the last song I wrote, and I wrote that in the studio, which I've never done. I've never written a song under this huge deadline. I had the basic chords, and I had these little samples I was playing with, and my producer said, "Finish it. It's great." And we had 2 days, so I finished it. I'd never done that. I finished the song in 2 days, and I liked opening the record with The End. And it's also the sort of the most peaceful song about a breakup. It's the place I arrived at after all the other crap, emotional stuff. You know, I arrived at this place of it's the end, and it's peaceful, and it's good, and it's my favorite song on the record too.
Nice, and I do love the video. It's very, it's a great piece of like, you know.
It's my life. It's a
Exactly.
little. It's like a little day in the life of what Holland has been like, especially Holland and Germany. And I'm just so happy to have something I can show my grandkids someday and say, you know, Grandma was cool. She did some cool stuff. And it's wonderful to have all the cast of characters that have been a part of your life, you know, for years be in a video. Like tonight, tonight we're celebrating the record release at Hotel Cafe, and most people who are here have touched this record in some way or another, and it's really about them tonight. It's about telling their story and just saying thank you. You know, it's a special place.
It is. And when was the last time you played at Hotel Cafe?
I was trying to figure that out. I think a full show, was November, maybe even October. I did a couple of songs at the Christmas benefit here, which we do every year. But I can't even remember the last time I played a full set here. So I hope people still remember.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah,
I'm sure
we'll
they
see.
do. Kind of touching on the video and a lot of the people who, you know, have influenced you or have played a role. You made a little cameo in Sarah Bareilles' video. How was that like? What was the process with that?
Sarah, I think Sarah had made a video that she wasn't happy with, and was really stressed out about, you know, how do I make this she's such an honest artist, and if something doesn't feel right to her, she just nixes it, which is a really inspiring friend to have in your life. So she decided to have all the people that she was either inspired by or touched by in some way or had a relationship or connection with in some way, and have them make a YouTube video. You know, like all the kids on YouTube are lip syncing songs, and so I was in Holland playing a festival, Eurosonic festival, and she called and she's like, "Can you just jump up and down?" And I had to drink a glass of whiskey, and I was in my hotel room by myself, and she had to jump up and down, and had no idea who the other people were going to be in the video. And then I saw, you know, Pharrell and Gomez and Maroon 5 and Carey Brothers. I was like, whoa. Yeah. So it's a real document of friendship. It's a testament to who she is. These people did it for, you know, in a drop of a hat. I don't know a lot of artists that can get people to do that. Yeah.
Nice. What are some of the artists that have influenced you?
I mean, there's so many. I was a kid, it was Queen. My mom played Queen all the time. When I hit puberty and went through like the whole, I'm a, you know, introspective, sensitive teenager phase, I discovered singer-songwriters, and then really got into Joni Mitchell and Kate Bush and Tori Amos, and now I'm really into the bands like Radiohead and Muse. I love Muse, and Lika Lee, who's a great electronic singer-songwriter from Sweden, who's finally sort of blowing up here. And yeah, I listen to a pretty varied collection of music. I mean, most of the people I listen to play at the Hotel Cafe. You know, so I'm lucky. I get to watch my friends play, listen to them when I'm traveling.
Hotel Cafe was also the setting for your music video for Wicked World. How was that shoot? It's a crazy fun video.
Well, the place closed at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night. And so the place closes at 2 o'clock. We moved an entire film crew into the Hotel Cafe. I had costumes from Universal Costume House, which is, you know, these amazing costumes that have been in actual films. And we dressed up all of our friends as fairy show characters, and for 15 hours we shot that video right until they opened for Saturday night's first show.
Oh.
So yeah, it's another tribute to, you know, the friends and the places that we come from. It's so important to have them traveling with me. You know?
Definitely. You were gracious enough to answer one of the questions I had for your
live stream.
So another big song on the album is "You Somebody," the Kings of Leon. That's such a beautiful arrangement. What was your thought process in writing?
I was kind of put into the situation where I had to do a cover. My first radio show I'd ever done was in Holland with this guy, Giel. His name's Giel. He's on 3FM. And he asks artists to do a cover as well as one of their own songs, and it has to be from the charts. And everything on the chart was like Euro, pop, dance, disco, and then there was this song that I was listening to for weeks. And when you take away all the rock and roll from that song and you listen to the bare bones, it's this aching, sad document of what it's like to be traveling alone. I just felt it, and I played it live, and we got a lot of feedback right away from the listeners, and decided to record it for the record, but never thought it would be a single. And it just, the internet, it's where it's at, and it just grew and grew and grew and grew, and now it's like the thing people know me for, that's that song. And so I'm kind of nervous because I'm playing a festival in Honolulu, Kings of Luna, we're playing the same night.
Yeah.
And I'm a little scared they might beat me up. Like they might be like, you ruined our song.
Sure, they'll be it. What inspired you to, what point did you realize you were a singer-songwriter, or that music?
Bells, when I wrote Bells. I've always done music. Music has been my whole life. I've played classical piano since I was like 3, I played flute, I was in orchestras, I sang my whole life. I studied voice before I ever wrote a song. I was just a singer. I was somebody that was hired to do demos for other singers, or playing cover bands and jazz trios. But I always knew I wanted to say something. But I think you have to live a certain amount of lives before you can honestly tell a story and not be completely pretentious about it, And I never felt like I was at that point until Bells came out, and then suddenly I knew who I wanted to sound like and what I wanted to say and what my story was. And so it's a really organic thing. I've always done music, but never identified as a singer-songwriter until way late in life.
Gotcha. Now that Bells is out, and you recorded some of them, was there anything you were tempted to change?
We did. We changed. In terms of structures of songs, no. I'm a firm believer that you can't be too precious about a song. A song isn't just mine anymore. There is a moment where you say the song is what it is, and we write the next one. But definitely in terms of arrangements and tempos, and 2 years of live playing changes the way a song sounds. So I really wanted it to sound like what we do live. So we kept a really live feel in the studio. We recorded everything in 3 days. So it was really challenging, and again, I wasn't too precious about it. My producer wouldn't let me do 50 takes of a song. He'd let me do 2, and that worked. It kept it really, really fresh, and it feels like a new record for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are your plans for the next record?
Well, I think the last song being The End that I wrote, I think that's definitely the style that is going into much more thing. I'm playing with bands now instead of solo a lot, so I'm writing from that place now. I'm writing from a bigger sound. But it's still going to be navel-gazing and singer-song. It's still, I'm not writing songs about other people, I'm still writing about my own life, and hopefully it's interesting enough, to get a full record out of. I'm working on it right now, and hopefully we'll start recording in the fall. I've got a couple more months of touring before I get to take a couple of months off to write, really put together all the pieces that I've been collecting for the past few years. So, yeah.
Is there anything you want to add to it, or?
No, I'm just really glad that you're supporting the record, and I'm really excited to get the word out. So, check it out.
Yes.
Hey, this is Laura Jansen, and you are watching theMusicPhiles.com. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you check out my new record, Bells. It's out kind of everywhere. Thank you.